Alright, who am I? My name is Chris Hickson. I'm a math teacher and sign language teacher. Before that, I was a sign language interpreter. And these are just two pictures I kind of pulled off the internet. I live in Tucson, and I'm kind of a goofy character, so I went with these two pictures. This is my family. I have a wife named Gina and two sons. My eldest son is Nicholas. He's going to be 8 in a couple of weeks. And my youngest is Luca, and he's going to be 10 months. Move me off of here so you can see all the pictures. There you go. He'll be 11 months in a few days. In the top right there you see kind of my family. There's my dad in the background. My mom is kind of in the middle. And then my sisters are to either side of me in the blue and the burgundy color. Not really sure what color that is. And then below, I included this like in my family. These are my two best friends, Albert and Aaron. I've been friends with them since like high school. So it's been a little while. Alright. So I started off my educational journey, my post-high school educational journey, doing the interpreter training program at Pima Community College here in Tucson, and I became a sign language interpreter, and I did that for 8 years or so, and I could only find one picture of it at hand. I'd have to really dig and find others of it, but there's me interpreting at a graduation for high school here, and I decided to switch to teaching actually because of interpreting. I was interpreting a lot of math classes because a lot of interpreters just didn't want those classes, and I loved math, so I had no problem with that. And I was interpreting for this particular teacher, and this had happened before, but not quite to this extent. And I forget what concept we were going over, but the teacher was teaching something, and they were teaching it incorrectly. And the teacher and I really didn't have a great relationship to talk about that kind of stuff. And they felt it wasn't my place to correct them, which was fine. But because I knew what they were teaching was wrong or incorrect, I had to make kind of a decision. I was split. To be a good interpreter, an ethical interpreter, I wouldn't change the message of the person speaking. Let me back up. I'm looking at the webcam. I don't even have it up. There we go. So to be kind of an ethical or professional interpreter, I wouldn't change the message or the intent of the person speaking or the person communicating. But this person was doing it unknowingly incorrect. They had that sort of sort of that what's that phrase? I just had it before I started the video. Is it blindness is bliss? No, something like that. Ignorance is bliss. Ignorance is bliss. They were ignorant to their misteachings, but I wasn't. I had to knowingly give that student false information, and it was a class for algebra support, so there's a lot of struggling students, and this happened over and over, and it just kind of ate at me a little bit each time. And so I decided at that point I wanted to take a larger role in the classroom. I loved interpreting, I loved sign language, but I wanted to take a larger role in the classroom, so I decided to become a math teacher. And I found a picture of me student teaching at a K-8 middle school, an awesome middle school. And then there's a picture of me graduating. I included this one. I thought it was really funny. The microphone was set really low, so this picture just kind of looked goofy to me because I had to kind of hunch over the whole time. And then there's me and my older son in Prescott when I started my undergrad degree. So one of the things we're supposed to talk about is our, what we want to do, and a lot of my classes are kind of picked for me, for the MED leadership degree. So I'm taking Foundations of Ed Leadership, Research Methods, and I'm doing Instructional Supervision as a mentor course with Ron Hennings. And then next semester, I'm hoping to get this done in 4 semesters, but we'll see how things go, I guess. Next semester, I'm going to take Sustainable Leadership and Managing Personnel, and then I'd like to do my first of 2 internships with the principal of a K-8 school that I actually student taught. It's a fantastic K-8. They have a significant population of deaf and hard of hearing students, and I think that my skills in ASL really would help me fit in there, and I would be able to contribute a lot there, I think. Over the summer, I'm going to take school law, school finance, and history and motives of public education. I believe Ron Hennings teaches all 3 of those. They seemed like they tied in a lot, and after talking to him, I felt that it would be in my best interest to try to take all those at the same time, since a lot of their curriculum crosses over. And then the last semester, I have my second internship. I'd like to do it with the principal of the high school that I currently work at. It's a gigantic high school. There's like 3,400 kids. So I think working with that person will be really beneficial, and seeing kind of how what their day is like, in all of the things that they have to constantly be considering and going through. And then I have to do my capstone. I think I've got one more elective. No, there's one other class. My capstone. Maybe it was another elective. I don't remember. The last one, still kind of hammering out. But that's kind of my plan as far as my thesis. We don't write a thesis, but Professor Schwartz and I had talked about doing a grant, and I think I want to do something technology related. And it's funny. I remember during orientation someone mentioning how nice or how liberating it was to not be connected to technology or to be off your phone for a while. But I'm kind of like the opposite. I enjoy being connected to technology and using technology, and that's definitely like my environment. So I think I want to look into getting grants for my school. I'm in a Title I school. I mean, I'm pretty much in a Title I district. I think there are only 2 schools in my school district that are not Title I, and I think that we have really poor math scores, and I think that providing more access to technology and getting students away from computation to actually doing math and applying that in situations, and being able to look at a problem and not just plug in things into an equation, but understand what information they need, before tackling that problem. I think having technology or access to technology will go a long way in doing that. But I have a lot to hammer out for that. But anyway, that's me. I'm looking forward to the class. I'm looking forward to the self-analysis that it seems like we're going to get to do. I just from doing the first readings, that hit a lot of nerves for me. Reading about insecurities, fear, shame, and things like that. If the rest of the semester has been like the first readings for me, I think it's going to be a really good one, and one that's a very positive experience for me. But anyway, that's all the time I'll take, and thanks for watching, I guess, even though you're forced. But I look forward to working with you all. Thanks. The awkward part where I try to turn it off. Boom.